All right, good evening. I have to find my agenda, sorry. All right, thank you for joining us. It is Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. This is the regular meeting of the Park District of Grange Board. We'll start with a roll call this evening.
Commissioner Posey?
Here.
Commissioner Weber?
Here.
Commissioner Carter?
Here.
Commissioner Veer?
Here.
President Opid?
Here. I have no additional announcements this evening. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No.
All right, great. Let's start. Let's see. The first action item this evening is actually public comments, section 2.1. So I'll be opening up the podium. If anybody would like to make a statement, you're invited to address the board. Please keep comments to about 3 minutes. And I think we have a mic available somewhere. Is anybody planning on making a comment?
Hey, Mike.
Then let me get you a mic.
Can you put the mic up there? Please. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this evening, by the way. Appreciate it.
Hi, Marty Kalick, Riverside resident and secretary of AYSO 300. Just here to, kicking off the new year, we're starting to plan our next phases for the spring session and everything. So just again here, just two things I want to mention is, or I guess three things. One is, again, thank you for your continued support and helping with AYSO 300 and helping our kids get all the soccer experience they can. Second thing is I'd like to get, if anyone knows at this time, what fields will be available in the spring, coming up in the spring. So we are trying to plan ahead. I understand if you don't know at this time, we'll just communicate with you over the next few months. And then the third thing was, if it's still possible, if per your recommendation, we are still willing to help out with funding some sodding anywhere that the field's needed, if they'll take in the spring, before our kids get on the field, or any kids get on the fields. So we still have that available to you guys. We want to participate in helping out the community and getting the fields up to better standard. Obviously, as all the kids always play, it just tears up the fields. So yeah. So those are the three things. Again, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know exactly. Did you want to respond to anything? Or okay.
I think you're working with Kevin for the scheduling. That's where that would take place.
I think yes. And I think it's been kind of quiet. So
Yeah.
You guys know there were some permits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think we'll be talking a little bit about affiliates tonight. So
Okay.
thank you.
Great. And thank you for coming. Any additional comments this evening? Seeing none, let's move on. So for the consent agenda, we have a couple things here. I think we were missing a few commissioners that had participated, so there's a lot to approve. But hopefully we can get this done. I'm looking for a motion for the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting November 10th, 2025. Approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting December 8th, 2025. Approval of the minutes of meeting from the public hearing minutes of meeting from December 8th, 2025. Approval of the financial reports dated December 31st, 2025, and approval of the consolidated vouchers for January dated January 12th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Veer?
Yes.
Commissioner Weber?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter?
Abstain.
Commissioner Posey?
Yes.
President Opid?
Yes. All right, thank you. Let's move to agenda item 4, director's report this evening.
Perfect. So just a couple updates to my report. Cybersecurity training will be coming out. Did that come out yet, Madonna? It did. So you should have received an email for your cybersecurity training. That is an annual training that's required by law. So please check your email and make sure you complete that. If you can complete it by February 15th, that would be great. Sooner would be better, but February 15th would be great. We know you're all busy. Also, not quite on the horizon, but coming is going to be your statement of economics that will also come via email. So stay tuned for that. But again, we do have a little bit of time there. Just want to announce that we will be having the community center grand opening on Friday, February 13th of 2026 at 4 p.m. We'll have a kind of an open event to the public from 4 to 5, and then it'll be a closed event for just the family starting at 5. So if you can make it, I think I've kind of connected with all of you. Again, thank you for those who can come, and we're looking forward to a great event.
What's that date again?
Friday, February 13th. And then I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on, we just came across a ComEd grant or incentive, not really a grant, it's an incentive for the recreation center where it's the project in total would cost us about $112,000 and there's savings of about $90,000. So we are going to move forward with that. So we're really excited. The project's going to cost us about $20,000 and the rest will be paid by the ComEd incentive. So not only do we have that savings of labor and equipment, but also over time there'll be LED lights so our energy bills will go down. We've looked at the satellite facilities as well. There's not as much saving there because there's not as much wattage being removed and it doesn't really fit the incentive, but we are still looking at it because there is some savings, but not as much because we're not, again, removing as much wattage. So that's exciting. That's, another potential $90,000 that we could save this year. And then I received an update from USTA on the grant for $105,000. They are waiting on one more item. They need some more information on the asphalt. So once we get that back to them, hopefully we'll hear about that. And then we are hoping to hear from OSLAD. We were hoping to hear by the holidays. That's what their initial email said, but it has since been delayed. So we're still waiting on that. And then we did just want to, staff have been talking and looking at affiliates and what space we're going to have moving forward. And we would like to start updating our affiliate agreements, but we thought it would be a good idea to speak with the board before we start moving forward. We are starting to grow some of our programming. So, we're looking at adding, our flag football program is growing and other programs we're adding to look.
Yeah, excuse me, I have a cold, so my voice is a little off today. Our athletic supervisor and I are currently working with MLS Go for a summer soccer league and NHL Street for outdoor floor hockey. Once our referendum projects are completed, we would have 3 locations that fit that surface to play on.
Thank you, Kevin. So as we continue to grow our programs, we will be utilizing more of our space for internal programs, and we'll do our best to accommodate. There'll still be space available for the affiliates, but we just want to be very transparent that, we are looking to grow our programming as well. Currently, we're charging $6 per hour for smaller fields and $12 per hour for larger fields. Jamie did a complete analysis on our costs, and currently right now soccer fields, the cost recovery rate is $20.77 per hour, and the baseball and softball fields are $38.57 per hour. So right now there's quite a bit of subsidizing going on by the Park District for our field use. And keep in mind, this doesn't count any capital, any fencing or lighting. If you looked at the board packet, you'll see a Musco lighting package that's over $500,000 for Sedgwick. So all those items do cost money. Jamie, do you want to dive in a little bit to how you came up with the costs?
Yeah, so just to kind of give the board like a broad overview, all direct costs were taken into account. That includes materials, equipment, labor itself, any supplies, mowing, weeding, kind of anything that would take to maintain and upkeep our rental services for fields. And those direct costs came in at $103,000 on an annual basis. And then factoring in overhead costs such as irrigation for like the watering of the fields and lights and utilities, that came in about $25,000, keeping in mind that all those utilities do go up and have been going up substantially year after year. And then factoring in administrative indirect costs at about $7,000. That accounts for kind of those miscellaneous items as well as staff time. So the factoring totaled up to $135,000 annually to maintain and upkeep these fields. And then we also looked at what we've rented out as far as total rental hours for both baseball as well as anything t-ball, softball, soccer, and total rental hours for a year came out to 4,550 rental hours. And so when looking at the total costs to maintain as well as rental hours and what it takes to go into maintaining different fields, obviously any baseball, t-ball, softball fields are going to cost more to maintain just because there's, turfus, the paint for the striping, or the chalking, I should say. So we broke it down by a percentage. So allocated costs for soccer are 35% of the total administrative costs. And then baseball accounted for the other 65%. So that's kind of how I got our cost recovery rates of $20.77, as Jenny had said, for soccer, and $38.57 for the baseball, softball, t-ball.
Thank you, Jamie.
Could you share that with us?
Yeah, we can summarize it. Yeah.
So a quick question about those numbers, if I may. The number you have there, the 103 for kind of the maintenance, that's regardless of if there's people on the field or not? Is that cutting the grass or what?
That is
Kind of what's in that?
mowing, weed whipping, fertilizing, aerating, herbicides, striping, infield grooming, chalk lines. You're talking seeding, fuel, and things of that nature.
So it's a little bit of a mix of things that are probably required to have the leagues play and some things that we would be doing regardless of if there was
As
activity
far as
there. Is
like
that fair?
mowing, yes.
Okay,
I mean,
all right.
we would need to mow regardless.
Okay. And then when you said follow-up, yeah.
Are you saying the mowing is included regardless if we had games or not?
Correct. So for mowing the field, I mean, they're needing to be mowed, otherwise we'd be getting complaints for,
So that's included in the
overgrown.
cost?
Correct.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be though. Because we would have to mow it anyway, right?
Correct, but sometimes we were being asked to do a secondary
I understand
mow.
that, yeah. Okay, sorry, Brian, sorry. Brian.
No, it's fine. I just want to understand what's in there.
Yeah, I do
It's a
too.
big number, so I want to be clear. And then the other thing you said, 35% to soccer, 65 to baseball. That's just based on booked hours, I assumed.
It's rental hours, but it's also looking at like what it takes for field maintenance.
Okay, so question would be, when you say 35% to soccer, is it really to AYSO and Celtics, or is it just anybody that's using that field surface for activities? You know what I mean?
It is
Is that
just
clear?
for soccer field, not
It's not-
allocating
it's not-
to
it's not-
anybody. It's
It's
just,
not program specific, it's just a field surface. Okay,
Correct.
okay.
So does baseball include the Little League fields at Sedgwick?
Yes, so we just broke it down by what we rent. So we have baseball fields, whether they're, like the Babe Ruth or Little League, and then soccer fields.
Because there's a lot of volunteer time by dads that also help keep those fields looking the way they are.
It was broken
And-
down
and
by,
chalk and
yes, and we,
weeds
yes.
and watering and mowing and
And the only thing that was counted on those fields, correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie, was what we do.
Correct.
Yes, so it was what we do. So, but we have been having conversations with Little League, and they're fantastic. Jeff Voss is stepping back. I don't know if you've heard that. So
that's unfortunate.
it's very unfortunate. So, so we are talking with them about how we can support them more. So
Yeah,
we're looking
Sue
at
had his kids aged out of Little
Yes.
League. He was wonderful.
their kids need to have kids.
Yet, they're not.
And keep in mind, like for the soccer fields and baseball fields, there is additional herbicide seeding work that goes into that because those need more than just regular turf. So those expenses are a little bit higher than just all areas. Any
So
other?
are we going to raise their fees?
Well, that's what we want to talk about it, because we want to start working on the affiliate agreements, and we don't, we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page before we start moving forward. Again, the costs that we have here don't include any of the capital costs, which are becoming very expensive. I did just receive quotes for Gordon to get new ball field lights without replacing the wood poles came in at $450,000, and to replace the soccer lights with new poles, so they would kind of reconfigure. It would be just Gordon, Maine, not the northeast field. That came in at $350,000, and then there was an additional. Right now, there's some lights focused on the playground. If we wanted to keep that would be an additional, I think, like $70,000. So the costs that we're getting, in 2027, we were also looking at taking back. AYSO has been very gracious and been doing the striping right now, but looking to move away from that and have us do it internally. So taking on some of those responsibilities too. So there would be some shifts in duties.
So if I may, I think historically, what I've seen, I think Bob and I have been on the board the longest, is we've had things that break. Obviously, it's wear and tear, right? And we have big ticket items that need to be repaired, like fencing, like lighting, and our generous affiliates have often stepped in and paid those bills. And I think one of the questions we strategically have to understand is, what model do we want? Because I hear from the residents, well, the park looked terrible and we don't have money to, fix the fences, or what's going on? So do we want to come up with an approach where we're kind of quote unquote saving for a rainy day and we're investing in upgrading and keeping things looking nice, but it's completely controlled and we take full accountability for it? Or do we want to continue in the way we work now? I don't think the cost spent on these activities is going to be different. We still got to pay it because we want things to look nice, right? It's just a question of who's controlling it and how are we executing it to keep the fields in a way that's usable by the programs. At least that's how I'm currently looking at it. So I think the money's going to be spent either way. It's what do we want to do strategically with how we're doing that, right? Because today, my feeling again is the money a lot of the times it will sit, and this isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying. AYSO, for example, has some extra cash and they're willing to invest that into the fields. It's great. Little League has invested in dugouts. Great. So we're kind of taking it from there. But do we want to change that moving forward? I don't know. That's the discussion. That's part of it.
Well, and I think it's important to mention that, we do have staffing limitations. So we, in all of our agreements, it is park district standards, up to park district standards. So Little League has different standards than park district standards. So, we don't have the staff to be out there after it rains trying to get the field ready to go. We just don't have that staffing capability. So if that's something Little League wants to do, that's something they have to take on for themselves. If they want it mowed more than once a week, then we need to talk about, okay, there's going to be a fee for that. And we have been working with them. They want extra aerating, they want extra seeding and fertilizing, which we're happy to do. But again, if it's just for their program and they're wanting extra above park district standards, then it's something that we then charge them. And again, it's been going fine. I think we do it cheaper than what Simmons or a contractor would do it for. But that's been going really good so far. We kind of been testing the water there. So
I think staff is really looking directionally. Where do we think we want to go? We don't have to make a definitive decision tonight, but thoughts? Do we want to try to recover more costs, or what do we want to do?
Well, it sounds like there's underwriting kind of going both ways depending on what the particular need is.
Sure.
So, the concern that I would have is that a fee increase would be one that would turn off an affiliate to where they would go elsewhere. There's plenty of soccer fields, for example, in other communities.
Well, Kevin has the data on what other surrounding community parks, soccer fields are costing, right?
Yeah, so for example, Western Springs, they charge they're similar to us. They will charge AYSO between $5 and change and $13 and change, depending on the size field, and they increase by CPI every year. What they charge for like Celtics and LTSC is similar to us. They can be anywhere in the $20 to $35 range. Grange Park is very similar in how they operate as well. Per field, unfortunately, I don't have those figures with me. And then expanding outside of our immediate area, there are other districts that charge their affiliates anywhere from $35 to $45 a game for practice. It just kind of depends on, again, the size of the fields. It's because their affiliates don't do what AYSO does for us in this area. And then as pertains to baseball, the baseball fees they're kind of all over the board. They can be anywhere from $65 a game up to $140 a game with lights, depending on the size of the field and the location.
So, and with the soccer fields, we're looking to take the striping over and the goals, like with the referendum, we're getting new goals. Right now, the goals that we have, while we appreciate AYSO providing the goals, some of them are needing to be replaced. They're past their useful life.
So I have a question on why do you want to take the striping over if we have trouble having enough staff already?
Well, because we brought on the athletic field specialist, so we planned for this. This was kind of a transition we were looking to make.
So the striping is a specialist position?
Well, we brought on an additional staff. So we brought on another staff to be able to take on some of these responsibilities.
Okay.
And we're also looking, there's equipment that you can purchase that we're looking at, the turbo tank that does it automatically and quicker and better. So
the other element to us taking that on is we do have our NFL flag league. We do have some stuff with lacrosse. So we will be doing more and more striping, and as we share the same fields, it can become very confusing on dimensions, whose lines are what. So by having us take that all on, it makes it a little bit easier. It's like this fall, we had 3 different colored lines that Sedgwick made because of the different size fields and the number of programs using it.
At what point does it become overused? I mean, because it gets worn.
It's already overused.
Right.
yeah.
So is there a standard where we have to say you can't use it anymore this day, or how many games a day, or one a day, or?
We've attempted that in the past, did not go well.
Yeah. And I think it's more about getting a good turf management plan in place and rotating fields. Right now it's a little more difficult because we're down so many fields, but like Gordon Main's being redone right now. It's going to be graded and reseeded, so that'll come in strong. We're hoping to have some extra money with the referendum, and we might look at regrading the northeast field at Gordon and the outfields of the softball fields. So with some of that, so we're planning some other projects that will help us get to where we need to be. But that's kind of what we're thinking. So, and then we would work into our agreements where the fees would increase by CPI. So that way it's nominal increases every year. And there's no, question about how much it's gonna go up. Because, right, what did we figure out what was CPI this year?
2.9.
2.9. So, on $25, I think it was like 72 cents. Yeah, 73 if you round up. So we'd probably round it up, to the full dollar or see what we would do there. But again, we want to start looking at this now so we can start preparing, because it does take some time back and forth with the affiliates, and we want to try to get this in for spring of 2027.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking at. And obviously, by opening this today, the affiliates have time to think about it on their end. And if they're, if AYSO is putting in, I don't know what the numbers, let's say $35,000 or something like that into keeping things up, and we split that up to the fields, it might just do analysis of their cost and our cost return.
And then we would also, right now we have these tiers in place, tier 1, 2, and 3. AYSO is in the tier 1, and I believe, Kevin, we've been trying to figure out where these came from. And so I don't.
They preceded me by 1 term.
Okay. So we were kind of looking, right now the affiliates, they communicate, they say, I want, like, Kevin has a meeting, everybody pretty says, like, this is the space we want, so it's pretty good. Tier 1 was supposed to be rec. Well, AYSO now has travel too, so they're doing travel, so it just gets really hard to track. So we kind of really just want to eliminate the tiers and really just kind of move as everybody's on the same scale, because it just gets too hard to monitor, and then who gets the space, and it's really, we don't really understand the science behind the tiers.
Well, it doesn't matter what tier, it's the use of the field that is the issue.
Right.
So I would agree with that.
So I know a little bit about the tiers. So some of the tiers were charitable organizations, like Little League and AYSO. So they were all like tier 1, I think.
Yeah, baseball, it's just the soccer is how it was. Like baseball has kind of been on its own.
That's right, because they split that off.
Yeah.
So on the soccer, there was charities. I don't know what tier 2 or tier 3 were, but basically, AYSO was very helpful with the fields, they did the goals, and the lines, and all that stuff. So it was kind of a, take care of each other in that situation. And I think that's where the first tier came from.
Yeah.
And then the supposedly profitable organizations or clubs were charged another level, but some of those are nonprofits too, so that's not a classic designation of what the tiers were.
Right.
I'm very leery of the term nonprofit in today's sports world.
You think the NCAA makes money?
I believe my statement. No, I'm referring to all the private equity that's going into kids, quote unquote, nonprofit sports. So I don't think that's a fair.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't think that designation in and of itself is something we can use to clarify who would get priority.
It used to be more meaningful.
It used to be more meaningful. I think it's changed a lot.
And so the solution to that, I think the neutral way to look at it is it's just straight up use of the field. It doesn't matter, like, one tier isn't going to use the field, like, be harder on the fields.
Yeah, and I think when we looked at it, like, if you base it on residents in each program, it's very similar, right? The percentage is what we figured out, Kevin?
Yeah, they're, regardless of the number of total participants divided by the number of residents they have, they all sit in that 28 to 33% range.
What does that mean? 20 to 33%
of their participants.
Residents of their
participation
are in the Grange.
Yes, but they're all the same.
Right,
so
but
regardless
I'm saying
of
the lower numbers, LaGrange.
Yes, 28 to 30% is LaGrange in AYSO, in Celtics, in Lyons Township. So,
So the ask tonight is simply, are we okay with letting the staff, as I understand it, do some investigation and come up with a better, I won't say better, a proposal for something that might look different than what's there today? Is that an accurate summary?
That's accurate. I mean, we've done a lot of the groundwork already, and I think what's important is, some of these capital projects that are going to be needed to be done in the future, and planning and preparing. While we love the affiliates, we think they're great for the community, we don't want someone in 20 years from now having to go out for another referendum. And so we're really planning, Brian was in my office the other day and I showed him our capital planning tool. It's completely different. Anybody remember MBOs?
Yes.
It's completely different. We have a really dynamic capital planning tool that you can sort, and it plans out for the next, you can go 10 years, so, and further. So we're really confident in our ability to be able to plan. And I know there's been some concern in the past, but like we're really at a different stage as where we were before. So yes, we'd like to look at kind of taking on more responsibility for our fields and looking at what that cost should be so we're not in the same situation as we have been in the past.
Yeah, if I could just, one more thing, because I'm so involved with this type of stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a process now that is, I guess, it's a partnership with
Mm-hmm.
our affiliates now that works from a standpoint of, if I'm coaching a soccer team, I know the field's going to be striped because there's another volunteer dad who's striping the field.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with baseball. If the partnership takes that over, then we need to make sure we come through with what we're saying.
Yep.
Because you have volunteer dads going to that soccer field with all the parents expecting the field to be striped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's embarrassing, and you end up being because you're the volunteer coach, you're the one that everybody looks at. So I think it's important to understand what we're taking on, the responsibility of that to the people that make sure this stuff works. If we need to raise our fees, I totally get that. I mean, there's inflation, but it's the other stuff
Sure.
that we need to make sure we come through on.
Yeah. And again, with Sedgwick A and B, right now, Little League, they put money into those fields, and so they don't have a fee. We're just been charging them for the things that are over and above what is in our affiliate agreement. So that wouldn't change. Again, we're just need to explore what extra help they're looking for. So.
Because I coached all the sports, so like football was amazing. The way
Mhm.
we ran football, field was striped, everything was there.
Yeah.
Equipment was there, super easy for somebody to volunteer.
Right. That's what we
It
want.
was good.
Yes, and we will continue that.
So that's a good example of how the park district has done it already.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah. When AYSO was, the fields were always ready. So
Yes, and again, we value our partnerships. That's not why we're doing this. We just want to make sure that we can get our programming in and accommodate everybody else too, and cover costs now and long term.
absolutely.
So, okay, so we'll start looking at that and updating the board. And if you think of anything else that you didn't think of tonight, feel free to reach out or give me a call.
I want to thank you all for quantifying that. It's been a long-term goal that's mentioned many years ago.
Yes.
So thank you.
So I have nothing else unless there's any other questions in my report. That was just my report.
All right, thank you. Let's move to Jamie then for Finance and Human Services.
So I don't really have anything else in addition to add to my board report. I did just want to highlight the fact that we, as a district, did receive 2 property tax distribution installments, which totaled just under $480,000. So it was very nice to see that the property tax money is now starting to come in after we were kind of absent from that for quite a few months. Right now, we don't have the detailed breakdown of what tax years that money came from. I guess I'll just say we were lucky that the money came through. The county is giving out the messaging that once they have an idea of where exactly the money came from, that they will let their entities know, which gives me just a slight pause because my OCD brain likes to know exactly where that money came from, but I'm trying to trust Cook County. So they said they will provide that information once they have it. And then I'd be more than happy to give the board an update on, what exactly, where those breakdown distributions came from every tax year.
Any further questions? All right, let's move on to Kevin to talk about recreation.
A couple of things to highlight in my report. We are hopefully wrapping up the rec supervisor interviews for that position that's open over the next week or two. Winter programs are up and running. We've probably seen YEL started tonight with assessments for new players. Summer camp registration is slated to open on February 18th for residents and February 25th for non-residents. Something we did differently this year to hopefully streamline the registration process and mitigate some of the issues is we took before and aftercare registration and made that a later date. So that'll be on March 4th. So that should hopefully make online registration slightly smoother. And then the other thing I want to highlight is the fall end of season report at the back of my board report. A couple of takeaways from this is we are trending in a really nice direction in terms of resident participation. We're sitting right around 55%. With these demographics and data, this does not account for anything with the fitness center or fitness classes. So I want to make sure that's noted. Because if you look at past reports, some of the numbers are going to look skewed compared to this, because I removed all the fitness data. The other thing of note is we are getting a slightly larger increase in the youth 10 to 12-year-old demographic. That's something staff has identified that we're going to start programming more so for, as well as for the 36 to 55-year-olds. The nice thing with having the fitness data pulled out of this is we're getting a truer sense of who's participating in general rec programming. So we're not seeing significant numbers in like that 56 to 70 range anymore. The other thing to note of this, in my time as the department head since 2016, I've been tracking this. This is the 4th highest enrollment overall through the fall season. So it's really good for us. We're happy about that. Obviously, there's room for improvement in different program areas, and we're trying to solidify that. Which brings me to something that's not in my board report, is we did conduct a community needs assessment. So that is officially closed. You may have seen some QR codes around the fitness center, the rec center. It was in the e-blast, it was on the website. We had 438 individuals who viewed that survey. We had 145 completed responses. So staff and I are going through that data, and we'll start looking at the trends, comments, what programs the residents are looking to do, where we can improve, what are some of the pain points, what are we doing well, so we can kind of enhance those areas. Outside of that, for my board report, a couple things not in there as well. Katie Wagner, our marketing specialist, is doing a 4-part editorial series with Grange magazine. So there will be articles that she is writing on behalf of the park districts that will be in the February, May, July, and November issues. And then we are currently working with Prolific on the new website. We've had several meetings. We have another one this upcoming week. Those are progressing very nicely. We're doing a lot of legwork on branding, what we want the site. We're creating and working with Prolific on user personas, who's going to be using the website, how they're using it, things like that. And then lastly, I will be scheduling a affiliate meeting with our soccer affiliates over the next couple of weeks. This is about that time we do it, just so the board is aware, due to the referendum construction projects, we will only have 4 fields open this spring. That'll be Sedgwick, Maine, Gordon Northeast, Gordon Softball, and Whitehall. Outside of that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
I'd like to say congratulations on getting all the participation numbers up. That's awesome.
Thank you. Any further questions for Kevin? All right, let's move on to Mike, and we'll talk about facilities and operations.
Good evening, everybody. So I just had a few highlights to add to my report. So first of all, the Grange Fitness continues to be very busy. That's to be expected. Usually about November through March is the peak season for fitness. So one of the things I did want to point out was we had a very successful December with personal training revenue. So we brought in $11,500. Looked into that a little bit more, and part of that is because we did run that Black Friday sale, and actually the final date was December 1st. So that would have covered what would have been like Cyber Monday. essentially. So we sold 34 packages throughout the month. We obtained 5 new clients and then also 2 group or partner clients. So that also contributed to the higher revenue, which was something we're very excited about. And then as far as facilities go, just looking ahead a little bit, so as you know, the AYSO Community Center is back up and running and we started with programming in November, but as of January 1, we started taking rentals. So far we've already had 2. The first 2 Saturdays have been, the community center has been utilized for rentals, so we anticipate that to continue as well. And then one final thing too, you mentioned last meeting that we were going to have the gymnasium floor resurface and screen resurface, excuse me. So that was a success. That was done the week of December 15th. And then we've gotten plenty of positive feedback. I talked to our athletic supervisor, Liam. The basketball teams are very happy. And then I've met with some of the pickleball players as well. They're very happy with the condition of the court. And with that, I'll answer any questions you might have.
I was just shocked at how many people were in the fitness center when I walked by the window tonight. It's amazing. I think every treadmill was taken tonight at
We're all
6.
running to get out of there.
Yeah, right.
Right, I go by in the morning, it's,
The same?
yeah.
Same.
I mean, it's not full, but half full probably.
Yeah, no, it was completely full tonight at 6.
One of the most exciting things too is just looking around and seeing the different demographics. Like the age range in that fitness center is something that's really spectacular.
For the weekend hours, is there any reason that it closes at 3? Like why there's not later hours?
Longer hours? The weekends? You know, we did do the survey. We could look back and see if anybody had commented on the hours. We could certainly look into it. It could be a possibility that we could explore.
I have had residents mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we were open later, those hours weren't utilized very much. It was really slow.
Yeah.
So that is why we did reduce the hours. But we can take a peek at it. But again, it was pretty slow during those.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to come, and then
Well,
football's
maybe
on.
it's a couple hours. Maybe
So
5 or
I
something.
may know a teenager who used the gym and was surprised that it closed
yeah, so
early.
Well, I think the other maybe thing to consider there is when you were running it a long time ago, we had a lot less people, I think, too, didn't we? Wasn't less membership? No?
No.
I don't remember the membership visits being 11,000.
The visits have
are
gone up
quite a
yeah,
bit.
but
Yeah.
we were up to 2,800 members.
Okay.
Then COVID kind of dwindled it.
COVID
So-
messed everybody up.
Yeah.
All right, any additional questions from Mike? Okay, seeing none, I think, no, go ahead.
We don't have maintenance.
I put some of the stuff in my report, so I can give a brief update on that.
So I got a question.
Yes.
The drains in the fields, what are they called? The,
Irrigation?
no.
The drain tile?
The catch basins?
Catch basins.
Okay.
Thank you. I have green grass. Were those all already emptied by the village?
Yes, at Sedgwick.
Okay.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Why is there? How was it with the rain?
You know, I was actually out that night and came back, and it wasn't that bad after the event.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes after the event, it flows. It was
Yeah.
still flowing,
Sure.
and it was, I don't know, a couple inches maybe in some spots in the fields, that doesn't bother me.
Sure.
But yeah, I can't give you an accurate answer.
No. Yeah, I'm just wondering. It wasn't obviously terrible though. If you're.
No, I don't think so. And surprisingly, I didn't see. I came back that night. So what time was it? It was probably 11 or something.
Oh, it was late then. It was
Yeah,
a couple hours after.
yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't see even 47th and East Avenue flooded,
Okay.
which is unusual. Usually that floods.
It was awful by us. By
Yeah.
where I'm at. It's like a river. By Spring Park, usually it doesn't get that bad over there.
Really.
It was a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think it was
rain in a
leaves.
little
I
bit
know,
of
it
time.
was
It was a lot of rain and a lot of leaves.
Ugh.
Yeah, I kept leaves, shoveling the leaves off, but the catch basin's out in
Right.
front of our house.
Yeah.
Right.
Just,
Anyway, I always want to know about that.
Yeah.
Catch basins.
Yeah, they were clean.
So I think the reason I asked is because of the vent. And
Yeah.
maybe it helped that they are
Mhm.
open.
Yeah. A couple other things for parks, just to keep in mind is, Gordon, we're getting a new electrical box. And so the power will be shut down to the park for like 3 to 5 days because we have to install this electrical box. And we are kind of at ComEd's mercy. So we've submitted the request and then they will let us know when it's going to be. So as soon as we know, we'll let the public know. So there won't be lights on at night and those type of items. And again, I'm keeping in communication with the village and the police and fire so they know. But to get it replaced, we have to do that. And then we are working again with Davis Tree Care to do our pruning, and that'll be in February. I need to speak with them because I am a little bit concerned because the ground's not frozen, so we need to make sure that what they're doing. So those are a couple, and then just working on getting some of the safety inspections scheduled, fire extinguishers, fire panels, those type of things.
All right, nothing further on parks. No questions. We'll move to action items this evening. We've got one action item, which is discussion and/or approval of the Musco lighting proposal. Jenny, you want to walk us through that?
Sure do. This is part of the referendum. So it's already a planned budgeted project, but due to the cost, we're, want to make sure the board approves the agreement. Still working through the agreement with Ansel Glink. There was a couple items that we needed to modify within the current agreement. So we've submitted those changes and we're just waiting. So what is being approved tonight is the amount of the contract, not the exact contract. And the final approval is by executive director and legal counsel. This is for the Sedgwick Park baseball field lighting, sand volleyball lighting, and parking lot lighting. The parking lot lighting is East Avenue, not all the parking lots, just the lot on East Avenue, as that's being a remove and replace. Happy to answer any questions. The total is $541,600.
and this is the only bid we got for this?
It is yes and no. We did get some other ones, but they're not as good of quality, and there's a 25-year warranty on the Musco lighting, and they're the best of the best.
Okay.
So it's what we would recommend. It's through Sourcewell, so it's government pricing. It's competitive bidding through a cooperative. We looked at trying to save some money and doing like the volleyball lights different, but you don't want things on, like it's just easier to have everything on the same system.
I agree.
So.
Can you describe, are you done?
Yep.
Can you describe ball tracker technology?
It's when the ball is hit, how you see it, is my understanding.
Yeah, it's the way the light is dispersed and shown down on the field. It reduces the glare so you're not looking straight into a light bulb.
So when you're trying to catch that ball, it's easier.
Okay. All right.
There's a guy with a spotlight.
On these areas, will these lights all be directional so that they don't feed into the neighborhoods?
We'll reduce the light pollution, yes, to the neighbors.
And the light capacity, I'm not sure what a candle is, but 50-foot candles, what do we currently have at like Little League or at the other baseball field?
Well, keep in mind, this is just the Babe Ruth. This is just, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have to find out what we have. I don't know.
All right.
Because we didn't install those.
All right.
Little League did.
But we have the other lights, like at the softball and at the senior field.
Well, those ones, Yeah, those aren't Musco lights. Those were a ComEd incentive that we got.
Yeah.
And they're not very good.
The ones at the softball, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
We have nothing but problems with those.
Okay, but do you know how powerful they are? As far as light candles?
I could probably find it.
And are they not bright enough?
Oh, they're bright.
They're bright.
And they have a dimmer. We've had to dim them all the way down.
Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is we don't want the ones that are, they're bright.
But these ones also have the dimmer.
Okay.
So, and that's again why we're going with Musco, because Musco lighting has all these features that
great.
we can utilize. Yeah.
So my, I guess, concern would be directional lighting
Mm-hmm.
and the candle, what do you call them? Foot candles.
Okay.
But I haven't got external advice on that, so. As long as they're dimmable, I think that'd be okay.
Yeah. And again, Musco is the best ball field, sports field lighting out there for that reason, the capabilities that it has.
So you wanted to bring in the volleyball and the parking lot because it became more economical just to combine them?
No, because we need them.
I know we need them, but could you get, Musco's the best, so we're paying for the best. Do we need the best in the parking lot?
Yes, because of the warranty, and
Warranty, okay.
they'll all be on the same system. So it'll be an app.
Okay.
It'll be easy to use. It'll be easy to program. Otherwise, you'll have different systems,
Yeah.
and so we'd prefer to keep it all on one system.
Yeah. So the parking lights there now.
It wasn't that much savings.
Okay. But so the parking lot lights there now are actually kind of dim, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And do they ever go off?
I hope so.
Well, do you have do you have to keep the parking lot lit a little bit though, like one light or something? For
Oh,
safety?
there's normally an emergency light.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, and the newer lights have photocells too, so they go on and off. But like, for example, some of it were for the ComEd incentive that we're getting for here, and I'm sure Musco lights can do this too. So what you can do is, some of them are outside in the north parking lot because those lights are 13 years old. There's an app for this one too, and you can reduce it at like 2 a.m. to 50%. And then when someone drives in, they'll come back on.
Oh, cool.
But it's cost saving. So these are the new kind of abilities that these lights have. So
I'm asking lots of questions, so.
that's okay.
So the recreation building, now that you brought that up, are you doing all the lights?
In the recreation center. So we have some that have already been done through ComEd incentives,
Yeah.
but this incentive was so good. We were just starting. We were looking at the playground and some of the high bays. The higher lights are harder to change when they go out, and that's what the highest incentive is. It's $30 a light. So we have 30 lights in the garage. So 30 lights is $30. That's labor, that's the lift, that's everything. So it's $900 to do it. So we were like, yes, and same with the outside ones. It's really cheap. But then we came in here and we walked through here, and in here, they're going to take out the can lights too. And they're going to put in a tone lights, and they can dim and rise, and it'll be more of a yellow. So all the lighting will be much nicer. So we literally went through every room, and he did it. Now the interior was the most. That was the highest one. It came in at about $13,000. But again, we're getting it. The whole building will now be LED. We're also changing all the can lights out. If we're keeping a can light to LED, which again, then we don't have to change a ballast. So there's also maintenance savings down the road. So yes, we went through the whole building. So.
All right, so at this point, I think what we're looking for is a motion to approve the Sourcewell cooperative purchase with Musco Sports Lighting LLC in the amount of $541,600 for turnkey sports lighting improvements at Sedgwick Park with final approval of agreement by legal counsel and executive director.
So moved.
I'm sorry, was that
Brad.
Second.
And then Brad and Chris.
Brad and Chris, okay. Okay. Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
Commissioner Weber?
Yes.
Commissioner Posey?
Yes.
Commissioner Veer?
Yes.
President Open?
Yes. All right, thank you for that. Board business, there is no old business and no new business. We'll move on to committee reports. Commissioner Veer, any updates on the administration
No
committee?
updates. None.
Commissioner Carter, any updates on parks and facilities?
I've got nothing.
Commissioner Posey, anything on recreation and cultural programming?
So I mentioned to Katie Wagner at the LGBA meeting that School District 102 has, at the junior high level, has really done a lot of improvements to their band and orchestra program where they're meeting, instead of a couple days a week, they're meeting every day. It's part of the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have very much increased their programming. And historically, every other summer, they've had a summer concert after a summer camp at Memorial Park.
Mm.
And I feel like Gordon Park could be a great kickoff
Yeah.
at the very least. I don't know what the schedule is. My kids are aging out of that program, but I think they would be very enthusiastic about participating. And then the other thing that I was thinking about, and you may not be aware of this, but Maria at Tate's Ice Cream,
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of every school year, and I think she does it in the spring as well, but she'll hide Tate coins
Okay.
in the parks. Another cool thing, I think, to tie in to our parks, such a lovely little quiet tradition that it might be a neat thing. She's always looking to partner
Sure.
with the parks. Like she will do like an ice cream flavor.
Yeah.
And then she mentioned, Maria mentioned that this is the, I think, 100th anniversary of Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently there was a drive-in movie theater on the Grange Road. So I don't know if there's any programming that we can do, but there are, she mentioned that like it's an international effort. There's a group of people that are driving their motorcycles all along the route, which means they're going to come through. And she mentioned at the LGBA meeting that it can attract, because it's like a hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a worldwide marketing that we could tie into. So I think that could be a fun cross-programming.
D105 would probably, the band people at D105 would probably also love
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
We do battle with bands.
The band, they do the pet parade, they do
Yeah.
the countryside parade.
Battle.
Little
great
junior
bands.
high bands,
They love doing it.
band
Sure.
fight club. Don't put it on the minute.
Well, thank you for sharing.
All right. If nothing further, we'll move to agenda 8.0, second opportunity for public comment this evening. Again, we'll open the floor if anybody would like to make a comment.
Thanks, Mike.
Again, Marty Kalick, Riverside, AYSO 300 Secretary. Just two things I want to mention. One is I want to just definitely reiterate the gentleman over there, the Commissioner Chris, said about volunteerism. AYSO 300 is all volunteer-led, the board, and then we get all the parents to help us out throughout the year in terms of striping and getting the fields ready. So that is something we'd definitely be intrigued in learning how you guys proceed with the athletic director or whatever your position was called. And then secondly, Western Springs is investigating a robot to do their striping. I don't know if you guys heard about that or not.
That's Turbo Tank, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is? Okay.
Yeah,
Right. So
that's-
I just wanted to make a mention of that. So,
Yeah.
So thank you, guys.
Yep.
All right, I was thinking that when we talked about it. Go ahead, sorry.
Rose Massey, 911 South Stone. Thank you for pursuing the LED lights. That's awesome, and I would be in favor of doing it the satellites as well. I don't know how much energy savings it would be. I don't know what's better, but it would be great. And does the park district, I guess I don't know if they pay for electricity, or do you have to pay for it, unlike the village that doesn't have to pay for it. So there'd be long-term cost savings then of replacing it, again, depending on what's currently there. Thank you.
Thank you. Board comments. We'll move to board comments this part of the agenda. Would anyone like to start?
I love driving through the Grange and seeing the improvements to all of the parks. It's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, like, it's like when the drywall goes up on a home renovation.
Brian doesn't know any of those feelings. I just want to say great job on the Christmas trees, except for that one windy day. I think that the village really likes that, and the neighbors like it too. And it's great to drive by those and see those up. Get to move.
It's super charming to see all of the trees, and it's nice to see every year there's more and more trees.
You don't want any more.
Oh,
We gotta get to 50.
actually, I
We
was
gotta
thinking
get to
how
50.
cool, and the whole thing has to be around
It'll have to be
the
around the
trees.
whole park. It'll be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That's a lot of electric.
Yeah, I don't know that it goes that far. It doesn't go
We
that far.
got
does it?
LED lights. We'll figure it out. I don't have any comments tonight. Great job. Keep it up. All right. I think at this point of the evening, we actually do want to go into executive session briefly for 10.0 or 10.4 personnel 5 ILCS 122C1. So I'm going to have to ask our members of the public here to step out for a moment. Thank you for coming. I do want to say that. Appreciate you being here. You're welcome to stick around and come back, but there will be no business afterward.
Okay, thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
We do need a.
Yeah, I'm going to ask, so at this point, I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session, 10.4 personnel. First Stephanie, second Brad.
Commissioner, oh, you want
Can we just do all in favor? Aye.
All in favor.
Aye. Okay.